Hello everybody, SlimKirby here, and welcome back to the Animal Crossing Let's Play. You are currently watching the abridged portion of this playthrough, where I cut out all the fluff and simply talk about my adventures of playing through an entire year of Animal Crossing in a summary format. If you'd rather watch the playthrough in its entirety, check out the video description for a link to a playlist that has all the episodes and stream sessions I've done raw and unedited. But if you'd rather stick around for these videos, well, just sit back and enjoy my adventures through Popstar. Wednesday, May 14th. This day started with a bit of confusion on my end. Not because anything strange happened today, but because I wondered how long my house's roof was painted green. Seriously, I have no idea when this happened. Honestly, could have been back when snow was a part of this town, since you can't really see the roof colors that well during the snow season. But this was the first time I realized it was not the color it was supposed to be. I swear, this project must be scrambling my brain. Poncho also asked today if we could change his catchphrase, and after I made the huge mistake of asking chat, I decided to just go with Grizzo, because all the suggestions were that bad otherwise. They were either way too long, longer than the character limit, or some were just names of characters and not even catchphrases. Jeez, and I thought the reason I asked was because I couldn't come up with anything unique and interesting. I'm just teasing you, by the way, chat. No disrespect and all the love. We all have days like this, and I completely understand. And finally, Matilda asked us to get a ball for her, likely for her child, and because the ball quest is terrible, I abandoned it after I could not find the ball for the life of me. Instead, I wrote Matilda a letter to apologize for my failure, and gave her a television that she could use to raise her kid. I mean, TV raised me, and I turned out fine, so it's the thought that counts. Thursday, May 15th. Maddie decided to bury a high-end stereo underground today, while it was raining. Boy, that sounds like a very expensive disaster just waiting to happen. However, this act was only the second most devastating thing Maddie did today, when it looks like she put our lovable boy Biscuit in a sad mood. Did she turn him down or something? Does Biscuit like Maddie? Am I seriously developing more interpersonal Popstar villager lore? Sure, why not? Anyway, this likely happened due to Maddie's ongoing crush on me, but since I'm with Cookie, I hate to say it, girl, but we're just not happening and you need to understand that. I don't want to see you keep feeling down about this, so you should move on from me and at least give the boy a chance. He's really nice. He's a nice young chap, and I think you'd like what he has to offer. I expressed my feelings in a letter to Maddie, so hopefully she can be a little more open to the idea, or at the very least, finally move on from me. Also, our old friend Sahara was in town, and I'd like to tell you that she and I had quite the professional exchange today, where we both fully realized our talents and potential and became ongoing business partners to not only further develop her brand and business, but also to give myself a nice influx of extra funds so I could use that money to not only build a larger nest egg for myself, but to also obtain the last few items from the post office bank rewards to really make this a true 100% playthrough. But again, that's what I would like to tell you, not what actually happened. In reality, as you know, I've had all of her carpets for a while now, so I didn't even bother talking to her. So riveting, isn't it? Friday, May 16th. After trying to encourage Maddie into giving Biscuit a chance the previous day, I decided to encourage Biscuit to not give up with her either. I don't know, I just feel like something could exist there. Plus, it would also get Maddie to stop obsessing over me. Meanwhile, I also discovered that both Poncho and Jeremiah just so happen to be rapping buddies. And hey, I can see them getting along, considering they live pretty close to each other, and they probably bond over the fact that they are both shades of blue. Seems like a likely friend connection to me, anyway. Gulliver also showed up today, but since we are still getting duplicates, I left my item code to the RNG gods, and they decided that I would be playing some baseball today. Baseball happens to be one of the two Island NES games, the ones you can only get from Island Adventures, so I was excited to play this just because of how rare it was. It was okay. I didn't play a full game, obviously, but I did play a few innings. For the most part, it controlled fine, although I swear the CPU was a little cracked in terms of their skill. They always seem to know where exactly to hit it, and even if it looked like it got an out from catching the ball, it never really seemed to count. Plus, they even got a home run on me too, which only added salt to the wound. I gave it my best effort though. There was one hit that was looking pretty good at one point, like it could have been a home run, but when the camera zoomed out, it went straight for the outfielder instead. Then I even had the bases loaded at one point, but then it looked like the next batter hit another pop fly, but for some reason it wasn't, which just led them to getting a double play anyway and ending that turn at bat for me. After that, I was done with the game and rage quit. It's probably not the worst NES game available in this package, but it definitely shows its age. I also couldn't figure out how to control the runners either. I had 2 hits that went straight into the outfield and had the opportunity to advance a couple more bases than just one, but for some reason none of the buttons really worked. Even combinations of pressing directionals and other buttons wouldn't work either, which just made me feel more disadvantaged in an already one-sided game. The rest of the day was nothing much to really highlight though. I did see Wisp that night and managed to get another one of Red's items, which again, if the game's gonna give me something, I'd much rather not get something I could item code later, or, you know, at the very least just get the painting itself from this. Also, if you thought the Fred Flintstone cereal jokes and memes ended a while ago during these streams, well, you'd be dead wrong.
No, Bonnie, tricks are for kids!
Damn it, now we're just gonna do that with all cereals now.
Bonnie, Frosted Flakes are great! Bonnie, I'm going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Follow your nose, Bonnie. Bonnie, can you see why kids love Cinnamon Toast Crunch?
Okay, I'm stopping. That's the last cereal I'm doing. I'm not doing any more. Saturday, May 17th. I got some letters back from both Biscuit and Maddie, so I was curious to see how they responded to my advice as the residential love guru. As you might expect, I think they both missed the point entirely. Maddie seemed completely oblivious, and if anything, just seemed even more focused on me again, and I think Biscuit just flat out fell asleep reading my letter. He started rambling on about tough hash browns or something, and yeah, the rest was history. Oh well, this is probably one love connection that won't be happening in Popstar. I also had a ball quest for Cookie today, and even though it gave me war flashbacks to the other ball quest involving Cookie, this one wasn't too bad. In fact, Cookie being at the bottom of Cookie Mountain even allowed me to just kick the ball right off the cliff to the lower level, allowing for an easy transfer to my bay. Due to all the dumb cereal memes lately, it was no surprise that this ended up being my town tune. Name that tune. And surf's up, everybody! Today's KK Slider song is none other than Surfin' KK. Probably one of my more favorite KK Slider tunes, actually. Sunday, May 18th. Knock knock. Who's there? Katrina. Katrina who? I didn't actually have a punchline for this, but Katrina most certainly did come back today. And hey, I'll say it paid off because we got the money fortune, and I actually took advantage of it this time. Thank God for that. Not much really happened today, but the day most certainly revolved around Maddie again. This time because Poncho decided that he wanted to win her affections this time by giving her a gift. However, I suppose this makes sense coming out of Poncho considering he seems like a very show-offy jock type who would want to get the ladies interested in him in some way. To counter this, one, because I still think there is potential with Biscuit and Maddie, but also two, because I can be an agent of chaos sometimes, I decided to write Bill and try to get him interested in chasing after Maddie as well. I mean, at the very least, Bill has been better to me lately, so if something were to happen between them, it wouldn't be the worst thing ever. But two, maybe seeing a pair of jocks competing for her love might make her a little more uncomfortable, and she might see a better comfort in the quiet, shy one on the sidelines. Although Biscuit might still be a little too reserved if his letter from the other day was any indication. I don't know, maybe I'm making this more convoluted than it really needs to be. I will say one thing though, I definitely appreciated Maddie the most today, as she buried a pitfall in town, which gave me some more ammunition against Caesar. And it actually been a while since I got him with one too, so I appreciate the lass's dedication to continuing this glorious tradition. Monday, May 19th. This was the start of another stream session, and this was another session where I began with a concert in pieces. So, let's take a dip with some KK salsa. And yes, that's the pun I'm going with this time, for better or for worse. Getting back to Popstar, it had actually been 10 days since Poncho joined us, which means we were en route to losing and gaining someone else today. Thankfully though, I kinda ended up getting my way after all, since Pippi ended up being the departure this time. I gave her a chance, but just nothing was really developing with her, and I promise it was not due to a lack of trying either. Just nothing was sparkling with me, and that's just the way it is sometimes. So, I hope all the Pippi fans out there aren't too beaten up by this result. I was really happy with our newest neighbor though, because we got Peanut the Peppy Squirrel. I am quite familiar with Peanut. Not only is she one of my favorite residents in my New Horizons town, but I feel like I've had her before that point as well, and she's always been a joy to have around. Of course, it was kinda hard to talk to her today, but that's only because Katrina gave us the neighbors avoiding you fortune, and this time it seemed to last for quite a while as well, so it was hard to get things moving on the right foot. We'll definitely spend some time getting to know her this week though, as I don't see myself wanting to let her leave so easily. Although, if the Tangy situation showed us anything, we don't exactly have a lot of control over that either. Trust me though, I think we'll like having Peanut around. Here's a funny clip of her in my New Horizons town where I caught her in the act of planning something mischievous using lasers. Actual lasers, mind you. On the subject of newer villagers, Poncho completely broke my brain today when he asked me to return an item to Billy that he left behind. Poncho, you were Billy's replacement. You didn't even know or interact with him. How do you have one of his items? Seriously. Couldn't the game at least try to keep the timeline straight? I mean, look who's talking, it's the year 2024, and I'm playing a file set in 2008, but still, come on. I also finally item coded the Ladybug shirt today as well, and I went to go see Sally so we could be Ladybug shirt twins, which really wasn't as impactful as I thought it was going to be, but hey, it happened. Tuesday, May 20th. This day starts with Bill being a jerk, or at least that's the impression I got from the letter he sent me. I mean, I was trying to get him to go after Maddie with the letter I sent him, so maybe this was just his way of politely declining my offer, but still, I found his retort to be quite unimpressive as well. Today we also got notice of two different things. For one, Wendell would be coming back in a few days, which meant I was going to use that visit to acquire the last wallpaper I need for the catalog, regardless of whether he gives it to me or not. Two, we got another notice that June, the last full month of the playthrough, will be another fishing tournament month, so every Sunday we would be having that going on. I didn't know it at the time, but this would actually be a very relevant part of the month for me, but I'll talk about that more when we actually get to it. Since things were a little awkward yesterday due to Katrina's influence, I decided that I would actually try to spend some time with Peanut today. But then this happened. Yo, sup? Peanut, did you kill him? No. Yeah, that was a little unnerving walking into that acre and seeing Gulliver unconscious on the beach next to her house. And Peanut seemed so chipper and nonchalant about it too. I also went inside her house and actually heard that she was listening to KK Salsa, the very same song I listened to when I had the concert in pieces yesterday. It's almost like I summoned her or something. Wednesday, May 21st. Maddie wrote on the bulletin board that she had an item in town today, and after looking behind the post office, I had a strange feeling that this was going to be the final painting I needed. It wasn't, but it was a painting, so she was actually pretty close. I swear, Maddie has actually been such a nice focal point of the project lately, which is good considering how little of an impact she made early on. Maybe we should proclaim May to be the month of Maddie or something. I don't know. Either way, it's good to see her do stuff now. Cookie decided to give us a peach today, which is not really super notable, but once again, it just so happened to be on a day where Maddie, of all people, seriously, May, the month of Maddie, wanted to have a peach, so that allowed me to transfer it right into her mouth without needing to shake any trees. Now that's a convenience I can get behind. I also got a barrel today, and that actually prompted a really funny letter idea for Caesar, so naturally I went for it.
Okay.
And I also decided to write Freya today as well. That night, when I came back on for Wisp, I actually received probably the most wholesome letter from my mom, who actually confused a mom scream on a TV show for me, which, I don't know, I just thought that was a very sweet parental moment from her. Better than when she compared me to the worst pot of coffee she ever made, that's for sure. As for tonight's Wisp item, we didn't get a Gyroid surprisingly, but actually the last item of the Lovely series, and another red item at that. Hey, I'm happy I'm not getting a Gyroid, but why couldn't it have been the painting instead though? Really got to drag the suspense out on this one, I guess. Thursday, May 22nd. We got a response from the letter we sent to Caesar, and let's just say the response is pretty telling of Caesar's intelligence. Our letter was just okay, and Caesar said he didn't understand it. Ladies and gentlemen, now presenting Dumb Gorilla. Moving on to more worthwhile objectives, Wendell is back again, and after once again not giving us the last wallpaper we need from him, I just decided to item code it. It had been a while since the big boy had been in town, what do you get from him is practically random, and I think at this point it just made more sense to finish up with this in this fashion. Much like the carpets though, in order to actually complete the catalog, I did also need to secret code the Mushroom Mural, a specialized Mario-themed wallpaper, much like the block flooring, that was only offered in the game as a promotional code item. With this last acquisition, the wallpaper catalog is finally complete, alongside the fossils, carpets, and stationery. So, hooray for us. I spent the rest of the day just doing my own thing. I did write Peanut a letter, not just because she asked me to, but because I did want to keep her. So a letter was going to be in her future regardless. Although, with what happened with Tangy, I have no idea if that will actually decide anything yet. I was also looking for Vlad for a really long time too, but couldn't find him for some reason. Funnily enough though, I saw him right as I was signing off for the day in the leaving animation, of course. Friday, May 23rd. Started this day with a visit to Peanut's place, and in addition to displaying that her and Sally are quickly becoming awesome squirrel friends, more importantly, Peanut asked us to give her a new catchphrase, and of course, I had to give her a classic Peanuts quote. I mean, good grief, the answer was practically staring right into my soul. I also talked to Carmen for a bit, and apparently she and her boyfriend are going on a picnic, and she wanted to know if apple fritters and apple juice would be a good combination. I don't know, I mean, at the core, I guess I can see what you're getting at, but you may want to peel away from just one type of ingredient here. But I get it, she does live in a district filled with apples. Not long after this discussion, though, Bill made her angry, which I think was a little uncalled for. Bill's actually been kind of a meanie in Creepy Pants lately. In addition to making girls cry, he's definitely been sighted outside the window of their houses too, so yeah, he really needs to dial it back a lot. I still want to like you, Bill. Come on, dude. We also got news that Crazy Red would be coming back again 2 days from now, which means we have another chance at the flowery painting. I'm definitely not hopeful, but we'll see what happens. Saturday, May 24th. Not very much to say at all about this day, really just a day to move along the calendar. I ended up just talking to my chat about my thoughts on Switch 2 and Mother 3 coming to the Japanese Switch Online, but still not at all to American audiences. And hey, the discussion wasn't toxic, which is always a good thing. For music tonight, my town tune was a choice not at all inspired by anything else I just mentioned. Name that tune. And KK Slider gave us a nice riff of some KK Soul.
Not me, me, que, me. Me, not me, not me, oh. Not me, me, que, now. Me, not me.
Oh, and also, we don't actually have too many tracks left to listen to, and we don't even need to do any Pieces concerts anymore either, so hey, that's nice. Sunday, May 25th. It's the last Sunday in May, and kind of a disappointing day for art fans. We had 2 painting potentials today, one from a buried item in town, and one from Big Red himself. But we're still not getting the goods. Don't worry, we still have Wisp trying for us, and I may have a backup plan in my arsenal as well that I'll talk about next week, so hope is not completely lost yet. I also started to notice that both Lily and Freya are getting along a lot better, at least better than what they started being neighbors. I like that, not only because Lily deserves only good vibes, but it really starts to show Freya's growth while living in our town as well, so that only makes me happy. You go, girls. Monday, May 26th. While Freya and Lily are getting along, it looks like both Dina and Biscuit were having some arguments today, which is a little strange considering how cool they've been together since becoming neighbors. I guess even good friends and neighbors will still bicker every now and then. Maybe not to the extent of Homer Simpson and Ned Flanders, but still, it happens. Although I was a bit disappointed this wasn't my biggest rage moment for the day, as Poncho asked me to do a ball quest for him. Now, I already hate the ball quest, as you all know, but as I was closing in on giving the ball to Poncho, he got super excited and ended up kicking the ball right into the river before I even had a chance to give it to him, which basically reset the whole process. What the hell, man? I was even trying to be careful too, because I knew he was close to the water, so this was completely undeserved. I decided to just abandon this as a result, and I definitely see a pitfall in his future, that's for sure. I also had some clothing quests for Peanut today, where Peanut received a new shirt, but then received another new shirt, which just so happened to be the same shirt she started with. An incredibly roundabout way to not change outfits at all, that's for sure. And speaking of changing outfits, or rather taking them off, I also tried to get Vlad back into that Daisy shirt. Seriously, is it weird that I like this meme that much? It probably is. Maybe I should stop talking about it. Tuesday, May 27th. Got another quick one for ya. Not much really happened today, aside from the usual check-ins. Matilda thought she looked absolutely ravishing in her new clothes, when to me, all she was wearing was an orange shirt. I guess confidence in your looks is a good thing to have, though. I suppose the real meat and potatoes happened that night, but I wouldn't even say this was a full-course meal or anything. Maybe more like a slice of lunch meat and a few potato chips or something like that. We had a Wisp stop by, but we only got a Gyroid. In fact, I was actually more impressed with Freya helping me out with a spirit this session, more than the actual reward itself. Also, fireflies are starting to appear in town now. See how long it would have taken if I did wait until now instead of catching it in pieces back in January? I think that was ultimately a good call on my part. It would have taken so long to get to this point. Wednesday, May 28th. We received a letter from Peanut, but the only thing I took from this letter was that she's this universe's parallel version of Sandy Cheeks from SpongeBob, considering that she's apparently a fan of karate. That's alright, Sandy is cool, and I like her as a character. Peanut did want me to send her another letter, though, which is like the third letter I've sent to her since she's moved in about a week ago. Listen, girl, you've already won me over. Don't need to give me a hand cramp writing so many letters to you. Today's biggest highlight, though, at least for me specifically, was that the island item I randomly item code shuffled today was the other island exclusive NES game, Wario's Woods. Now, I'll say this now, as someone who loves falling block puzzle style games, this is easily the best NES game you can get in Animal Crossing. The fact that you have so many different modes and options in just one package is quite incredible. You have round play, versus mode, time mode, and of course lesson mode if you need to actually learn the game. I played Wario's Woods a few years ago for Super 16, but it was the SNES version, not this version, and aside from looking a little better, I think it had a few quality of life additions too. This version is still pretty fun though, and has pretty much the same concept. You basically have to get rid of these little monster guys by lining them up next to ones of the same color, while also placing a bomb of the same color next to them to get rid of them. You can grab the monsters and bombs and place them in different places to accomplish this. If you wait too long to clear your field, Wario will make an appearance and drop a lot of bombs on you, as well as add more monsters to the field, so your goal is to clear stuff quickly and definitively. I only played 10 levels of round clear for this showcase, but I definitely wanted to play more. It's that fun and addictive for me. It's also worth mentioning that this game has quite the interesting cast of characters too. Wario is obviously the bad guy here, but the main character of this game is actually Toad of the Mario series, which is kind of cool that the little guy actually gets some spotlights here. Also, even that cutie Birdo makes an appearance. Look at how cute she is, just nonchalantly posing up there in that window. She's so adorable. Oh my god, it's Wario. Don't look. Hurry up and destroy those monsters. But yeah, I had fun with this one, and if you guys want to check out this game for yourselves, it is on the Nintendo Switch Online Services NES catalog, so it's a great way to try it out. I didn't do too much for the rest of the day, though, although I continue to be happy that Lily and Freya's friendship continues to get stronger. Heck, Lily was even starting to say Freya's catchphrase of oofda, which I thought was really cute. But yeah, things have been going pretty good lately, which only makes me fear that something terrible will be coming around the corner. Although, maybe, just maybe, this could be a sign of something even greater happening. Perhaps this is even the start of a golden age of sorts. Let's just move forward and see what happened. Thursday, May 29th. I can't believe it. I literally can't believe it. After 313 days of living in Popstar, Caesar has finally decided to move out. I was trying so hard to get him to move out, and after not directly talking to him unless I had to, and dozens of pitfalls, it seriously seemed like my efforts were all going to be for naught, and that he was going to last for the entire project. However, the game decided to throw me a bone and make my last month of the game as glorious as possible. I will hand it to Caesar, though. He did stick around for a very long time. Again, he's been here since day 11, for crying out loud, so his dedication to Popstar was impressive in its own way, I guess. He did try to make me feel bad or guilty with his departure letter, though, but nah, I wasn't having any of that. I wanted this so freaking badly, I swear. So, there we go. The big blundering and blustering ape is finally gone, and we'll never have to deal with that damn monkey ever again. Damn it. Well, I suppose the game had to be poetic in some way, I guess. Say hello to Pee-wee, Caesar's replacement. He's also a gorilla, and first impressions, damn, he might be a little more aggressive than Caesar after some initial greetings, and I'm not sure how I feel about that. We still have a few days to go to make a decision, so I won't completely write him off yet, but he's going to have to bring something to the table to get me to want to spend the rest of my days in Popstar with another cranky primate villager. I'm just saying. That's really about it, though, but I guess a 300-plus day villager moving out is pretty significant news for an update. The rest of the day was just spent talking about random stuff in chat, like 90s Nickelodeon TV shows, whether Kirby has skin pockets, you know, the usual stream chat discussion topics. Let's just move on so we can finish up the month of May. That will do it for another Animal Crossing episode. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you for the next one. Reminder that you can find links in the video description for the unedited recording sessions of this playthrough, as well as individual links to the streams in particular that featured the days covered in this episode summary. Until we meet again, this has been SlimKirby, and I'll see you guys next time. Later, folks.